Welcome to Drupal Brief. This is an AI-generated summary of another video, podcast, or blog post. If you want to learn more about what's being discussed here, then please go check out the source. This podcast is sponsored by Drupal Forge. Drupal Forge is an open-source, lightning-fast demo, development, and testing platform. It spins up Drupal sites in less than 5 seconds, complete with a browser-based VS Code. Want to try Drupal CMS, Drupal AI, Experience Builder? No need to install anything on your laptop. Drupal Forge has you covered. Even Composer, Drush, and AI keys are pre-installed so you can hit the ground running. Demo Drupal in less than 5 seconds only at Drupal Forge. Please take a second to click subscribe. We're a new podcast and this helps us a lot. Okay, that's it. Ready? Here we go.
You're constantly trying to keep up with all the latest information.
Oh, absolutely.
Sifting through articles, research, notes. It feels like a full-time job just finding those golden nuggets of insight.
Especially with something moving as fast as AI. It's a lot.
Right. What if there was like a shortcut, a way to be truly well-informed, particularly with cutting-edge tech like artificial intelligence?
That's the dream, isn't it?
Totally. So today we're doing a deep dive into that fascinating world of AI. We're specifically focusing on how you can leverage its incredible power, but crucially, keep your data fiercely private.
Yeah, that privacy piece is huge.
We'll be looking at some innovative solutions, practical applications, and maybe even some surprising facts about AI that might just change how you think about it in your digital life.
Okay, so our mission for you today is really to unpack what's happening behind the scenes, in the AI landscape, understand those critical privacy implications, and discover how tools like Amazee AI and something called Light LLM are empowering creators and organizations to use AI without compromising on security and control.
And our insights for this deep dive, they come straight from a really compelling conversation on Talking Drupal, #514AI with Amazee.ai. It featured Michael Schmidt, who's the founder and GM of Amazee AI.
Right, and we'll also touch on the AI provider module for Light LLM, which they highlighted.
Okay, let's jump right in there then. Light LLM. What exactly is it, and why is this idea of an AI gateway so important?
So Light LLM, it's an open source AI gateway. Think of it like a universal translator, or maybe like air traffic control for all your different AI models.
Okay.
Instead of your system, say, Drupal, needing to learn how to talk directly to OpenAI and Anthropic and AWS Bedrock and all these different providers.
Which sounds complicated.
Exactly. It just learns one way to talk to Light LLM, and then Light LLM handles all those translations and the routing in the background. The Drupal module for it just came out this past February.
Okay, so an AI gateway. It sounds like maybe an extra step. Why is it really essential, especially now? What's the core problem it's solving beyond just, managing API keys?
Well, yeah, it might seem like an extra layer, but the problem it solves is complexity, especially complexity at scale. I mean, the world of large language models, LLMs, it's just exploding.
Right.
New models, new providers, new APIs popping up constantly. For any organization, trying to manage that directly for every single team or project, it just becomes unmanageable fast.
Oh, okay.
So that brings us to the first huge benefit, API normalization. Light LLM basically uses the OpenAI API specification as a kind of standard.
The de facto standard, yeah.
Exactly. So developers only need to learn that one API, no matter what backend LLM they end up using, could be Claude, could be Bedrock, whatever.
So that makes development way simpler.
Hugely simpler. And it lets teams swap out models later as, tech evolves without rewriting everything.
That flexibility sounds like a game changer, honestly, given how fast things are moving. The model preferences can change daily.
Precisely. And then for larger organizations, it offers really robust centralized management instead of, 10 different teams managing their own keys and integrations.
Chaos.
Total chaos. Light LLM gives you a single point of integration. So you get centralized access, strong governance features, easy cost monitoring across departments. It turns that scattered approach into something cohesive and manageable.
Okay, that makes sense.
And beyond that, there's flexibility and reliability. You can tell it which backend LLM to use or even let the developer choose. Plus, it has things like failover and local lensing capabilities.
What does that mean, failover?
It means if one LLM provider is slow or doesn't respond quickly enough, Light LLM can automatically reroute the request to another one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it ensures your applications keep working. It builds resilience into your whole AI setup.
That level of control and resilience, that seems critical if you're serious about scaling AI securely in a business. But, as more critical data flows through these things, the big question comes up, privacy.
Yeah.
When we talk about AI, these powerful models, why is privacy such a huge concern? What are the risks that maybe aren't obvious right away?
Honestly, it's one of the most critical things people miss. Well, sometimes until it's too late. The big concern comes from the default policies of many mainstream AI services. The APIs for ChatGPT or Anthropic.
Yeah.
Their privacy policies often say your data is stored, well, in perpetuity, forever. It's never deleted.
Wow. So your prompts, your conversations, data you upload,
Yeah.
it just sits there.
It just sits there, which, as you said, effectively creates these massive honeypots of potentially really sensitive data.
Right, prime targets.
Exactly. And it's not just stored indefinitely. Your data can be accessed by their subprocessors for things like content moderation. And crucially, it can often be linked directly back to you, your email, account details, maybe even credit card info, which makes them targets for hacks, like that app hack mentioned in the source. The really critical thing for you to understand is any data you put into these public services, even just chatting casually with an AI or discussing company stuff, it could become public.
Right.
Or be used against you. It's a risk many just don't fully grasp.
Yeah, that's a pretty stark warning. It really highlights why we need a different way.
Oh.
So connecting this back, how does Amazi AI tackle these privacy risks? What's their approach to keeping data private and sort of shifting control back to the user?
Amazi AI comes at this with a really comprehensive, multi-layered strategy. 5 pillars, really. First off, their whole system is open source.
Okay, so transparency is key.
Absolutely. It's not just marketing talk. You can literally go look at their code, check their claims, make sure there are no hidden backdoors or weird data retention things going on. It builds trust right from the start.
Right.
Second, and this is maybe the most important, no prompt storage. Their business model isn't about selling your data or using your prompts to train their models.
Unlike some others.
They only log meta information like how many tokens you used for billing. That's it. Never the actual content of what you asked. Your prompts are processed, then they're gone. True ephemeral privacy.
Okay, wait, so they genuinely don't keep the content of what you're asking the AIs?
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
The massive critical difference. Pillar 3 is regional data sovereignty. This is huge for compliance, things like GDPR. You get to pick specific countries or regions. They offer like 25 locations worldwide: Switzerland, Australia, Japan, UK, Ireland, places like that where your data gets stored and processed.
So you can guarantee it stays within, say, Europe if you need GDPR compliance.
Exactly. It ensures your data stays within specific legal boundaries, makes life much simpler for global companies.
Definitely simplifies compliance.
Right. And then for even more security and control, they have optional customer cloud accounts. They can actually deploy their whole infrastructure right into your existing AWS or Google or Azure account. You get complete oversight.
Wow, okay.
And for the absolute highest level of control, the 5th pillar is optional on-premise deployment. They can run their stuff on your own physical data centers. Think hospitals dealing with sensitive patient data. That's where you'd see this.
That is a genuinely comprehensive approach to data control.
Okay, can you clarify something related? The term foundation models keeps coming up. What are they exactly in this context, and how does Amazi AI let you use them privately?
Good question. So foundation models are those really big, broadly trained, large language models. Think GPT, Claude, Llama, DeepSeek. They're like the general purpose AI brains trained on huge amounts of public internet data.
The base models.
Exactly. They provide a base. Now, you can teach them stuff on the go using techniques like in-context learning or RAG, that's retrieval augmented generation.
Right.
Basically, the AI gets a quick temporary cheat sheet from your own private data, like your company knowledge base, right before it answers your specific question.
So it makes the answer relevant to my stuff, but without actually training the main model on my private data. Precisely. It gets immediate relevant context for that one task. But your private data doesn't get absorbed into the model permanently. Now, you can also fine-tune them, which is a deeper, more permanent training for specialized tasks like coding or legal analysis, but RA is more common for privacy-focused uses.
Okay.
What's really clever about Amazi AI is they let you use these powerful proprietary models like Anthropic's Claude, but privately. They manage this by running instances of these models on servers within your chosen data region.
So the data goes to a Claude model, but one running in, say, Frankfurt under Amazi's control.
Exactly. Your private data never leaves your controlled environment, never goes back to Anthropic or OpenAI or whoever originally made the model. You get the cutting-edge AI without the data leakage risk.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more.
Yeah.
Beyond the really impressive privacy stuff and data control, what other key benefits are there? What else makes Amazi AI stand out?
Yeah, there are a couple of other significant differentiators. One is reduced latency.
Faster response time.
Right. By hosting the models physically closer to where your users are, say, running it in Sydney for your Australian users, they can significantly cut down response times.
Which matters more than you'd think.
It really does. Milliseconds add up, especially in things like chatbots or interactive tools. It massively impacts the user experience.
Good point. What else?
The other big one tackles something people call token anxiety. You know how most AI providers charge based on tokens? These kind of abstract units related to words or parts of words.
Oh yeah, the variable pricing that makes budgeting a total nightmare for businesses.
Exactly. It's incredibly hard to predict costs. Amazee AI gets rid of that. They offer predictable pricing. It's a fixed monthly price.
Ah, okay. Like a subscription.
Pretty much. They have different tiers, but you know what you're paying each month. It gives enterprises that predictability they desperately need and lets teams actually experiment and innovate without constantly watching the meter.
How can they offer fixed pricing when usage might vary?
They leverage economies of scale. By managing the infrastructure efficiently across their customer base, they can smooth out the peaks and troughs and offer that predictable cost.
That makes a lot of sense. Predictable budgeting empowers teams.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk practical use cases, especially with Drupal. How are people really using this? Maybe start with something fundamental like search.
Search is a fantastic starting point because AI makes such an immediate, dramatic difference there. Traditional search systems, like Solr or Elasticsearch, they're often pretty, dumb compared to AI.
Okay, how so?
They struggle with nuance, like understanding the difference between someone searching for the country Italy versus Italian recipes. They're keyword-based.
Right, they match words, not meaning.
Exactly. AI models, though, they understand natural language. They analyze the content deeply. They can even have multi-turn conversations. You could start broad, like 500 results for Italy, then refine it. Okay, but just northern Italy, or what are the best places to visit there in the autumn?
So it's much more like talking to a really knowledgeable librarian who understands context.
Precisely. And Amazee AI gives you options here. You can fully replace your old search with vector databases, which store info based on meaning, not just keywords.
Right.
Or you can use AI to just boost your existing search results. Like, let the AI intelligently re-rank the results from Solr based on semantic understanding.
Giving the old system an intelligence boost.
Yeah. And you also get control. You can flag content, use taxonomy terms, or steer the AI's system prompt to guide how it responds. Like, if you run a kids' animal site, you tell the AI, when you see Python, it means the snake, not the programming language.
That level of fine-grained control sounds incredibly useful. What about other applications beyond making search smarter?
Oh yeah, lots. Another really interesting one is automated site building. Think about using AI to automate really tedious tasks.
Like what?
Like generating Drupal content types directly from, say, a JSON export file. Instead of manually clicking through the Drupal UI to create dozens of fields and configure all the settings.
Which takes forever and is prone to error.
Right. The AI can just parse the JSON and build the content type structure automatically. It dramatically speeds up development.
Wow, that alone would save developers a huge amount of time. Now, speaking of powerful integrations, you mentioned something called MCP, Model Context Protocol, and combining it with Drupal's ECA module. What does that unlock?
Okay, yeah, this is where things get really, really powerful. MCP, Model Context Protocol. Think of it as a standard language, a secure way for an LLM to talk directly to all your other tools and data sources.
Like your CRM, Slack, Google Drive.
Exactly. Your CRM, Slack, Google Drive, project management tools.
Okay.
Whatever, have an API, potentially. It turns the AI from just a text generator into like a central orchestrator for your whole digital ecosystem.
Okay.
Now, combine that with Drupal's ECA module that's events, conditions, actions. It's Drupal's built-in automation engine letting you trigger workflows based on stuff happening in Drupal.
Right, like when content is published, do X.
Precisely. Put MCP and ECA together, and the possibilities for automation just explode. Think personalization. The AI sees CRM data via MCP, triggers an ECA rule in Drupal to automatically send a targeted newsletter.
Whoa.
Or it analyzes incoming emails via MCP, makes a business decision, and uses ECA to assign a task to someone in your project tool. It connects intelligence across platforms.
So it's not just generating text anymore. It's understanding information from multiple places and acting on it, automating workflows that used to involve tons of manual copy-pasting.
You got it. Think about content workflow automation. Imagine this. You write a blog post in Drupal. You hit publish.
Okay.
An ECA rule fires. It sends the content to the AI via the Amazi provider. The AI, using MCP to understand your brand style and maybe even access performance data from previous posts, automatically generates a perfect LinkedIn post.
In my style.
In your style. It then uses MCP again to publish that post to LinkedIn. Maybe it even sets up tracking. And then later it could analyze the performance and learn how to make the next post even better, all automatically.
Okay, that's transformative. No more manually adapting content for every channel.
Exactly. Or think Google Docs integration. Maybe your team drafts content in Google Docs. An AI agent could monitor a specific folder via MCP. When a doc is marked ready, it scrapes the content, uses ECA to create an unpublished node in Drupal. Then, when you manually review and publish that Drupal node, another ECA rule triggers the AI via MCP to distribute that final content to 5 different platforms.
That could save hours per piece of content.
Easily. And Michael Schmidt mentioned that with existing MCP servers, setting up automations like this might only take half a day to a day of developer time. The efficiency gains are just mind-boggling.
It's incredible.
And it also really underscores the power of those open source LLMs we talked about, like DeepSeek and Llama. They're evolving so fast, increasingly challenging the big proprietary models and really pushing the whole industry forward.
That is genuinely exciting. It feels like powerful, privacy-focused AI is becoming much more accessible. So, for our listener who's thinking, okay, I want to try this, what are the practical first steps? How do you get started with Amazi AI and the Drupal integration?
It's actually pretty straightforward. First, you install the main Drupal AI module. That's the core framework.
Got it.
Then you install the specific submodules you need, like maybe the agent system or the chatbot system, depending on your goal.
Okay.
After that, you install a provider module, in this case, the Amazi AI provider. And they make it super easy to start. They offer a 30-day free trial. No limits.
No limits. Wow.
Yeah, just give them an email address and you can start experimenting. It's a totally no-risk way to explore what's possible.
That's great.
And their provider module is smart. It helps you choose the right model by correlating them with Drupal tasks, so you're not just guessing which of the, dozens of models is best.
Takes the guesswork out.
Yeah.
And after the trial?
After the trial, they move to that predictable, fixed monthly pricing we discussed. Currently, it's around $30 or $100 tiers. Again, really reinforcing that commitment to predictability, getting away from that token anxiety.
That's such a refreshing, transparent approach, especially in the often confusing world of AI costs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look ahead a bit. What's on the roadmap for Amazi AI? How do they see AI and CMS platforms like Drupal evolving together?
Well, they're clearly very committed to Drupal AI. They're doing strategic sponsorships, actively involved in the community. They genuinely seem to believe Drupal is like years ahead of other open source CMSs in AI integration, partly because Drupal folks started thinking about this way back in 2017.
Wow, that early.
Yeah. They are also looking at integrating with other frameworks like Symfony and WordPress, but noting that often those platforms tend to follow Drupal's lead when it comes to AI implementations.
Sure, sir.
And Michael Schmidt made a pretty bold prediction in the source material. He basically said, if your CMS doesn't have AI capabilities in a couple of years, you're dead.
Whoa. That's a strong statement about how essential AI is becoming for any CMS to stay relevant.
It really speaks to how foundational this tech is becoming. And a really significant new venture for Amazi AI is building a private ChatGPT-like interface. It'll be a SaaS solution.
Okay, like a private chatbot for your company.
Exactly. But the key is it guarantees privacy while having secure access, via MCP presumably, to your specific private data across different places, Google Drive, Slack, Drupal, whatever.
So it can answer questions based on our internal knowledge securely.
Precisely. It can answer questions, perform tasks, all based on your company's universe of information without that info ever leaving your control. It's designed to give secure, powerful AI access to maybe less technical users within an organization, making AI a genuinely useful, intuitive internal resource.
That sounds incredibly valuable, especially for managing information scattered across different platforms securely.
Yeah.
But this brings up the human question again, right? If AI can automate workflows, answer internal questions, build site components, what does that mean for our jobs, our roles?
Yeah, it's a profound question, and Michael addressed it directly. It's something we all need to think about. He really emphasized AI won't replace you,
Okay.
but somebody using AI is going to replace you if you don't learn how to use it.
So it's not about job loss, it's about skill evolution. We need to become the people who know how to use AI effectively.
Exactly. We need to become effective AI orchestrators, the humans in the loop. He stressed the continued critical importance of human oversight and approval, especially for things like content generation.
Right, AI can still get things wrong.
Totally. It can summarize something completely off wrong, as he put it, or generate text that just doesn't quite fit your brand, voice, or message. AI makes the work easier, faster, gets you 80% of the way there, maybe.
But that last 20%, the final review, the quality check, the strategic alignment, that's still human.
That's still human. It's crucial. AI augments our creativity and efficiency. It doesn't replace the need for human judgment and expertise.
That's a really powerful and honestly reassuring takeaway. AI is a co-pilot, an enhancer, not a replacement.
Yeah.
So today we've really explored how you can embrace AI's incredible power while fiercely guarding your privacy, using solutions like Amazee AI and Light LLM.
Yeah, we dug into practical uses, from totally changing site search and content creation to automating these really complex workflows across different platforms, all while keeping you in control of your data.
It's clear the whole landscape of digital information, content management, it's shifting fast. And these privacy-first AI solutions are really empowering organizations to jump in without being terrified of the risks.
Absolutely. Leveraging AI without the fear factor.
So here's a final thought for you to ponder. As AI keeps weaving itself into every corner of our digital lives, pushing what we thought was possible, how will your relationship with information change? And what completely new possibilities might open up when AI truly becomes your own personalized, secure, and genuinely intelligent guide?
Something to think about. We definitely encourage you to explore these tools, Amazi AI, Light LLM, the Drupal modules, see how they might transform the way you work.
That is a wrap on today's Drupal brief. Remember, this was an AI-generated summary, so be sure to check out the original source for the full story and all the details. Before you go, if what you heard today got you excited about trying something new in Drupal, remember that Drupal Forge has you covered. Whether you want to test that new module, demo a concept to your team, or just explore the latest Drupal features, you're literally 5 seconds away from a fully loaded development environment. No downloads, no setup, no hassle. Just pure Drupal innovation at your fingertips. If this episode was helpful, please hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. It really helps other Drupal developers discover the show. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next Drupal brief.